the administration seems determined to take the Saudi leadership's explanations at face value, that they were not complicit in what happened in the consulate in Istanbul. Mike Pompeo told reporters that the Saudis hadn't wanted to discuss the facts, and neither had he. He'd simply asked them for a timely and thorough investigation, which they apparently have promised him. Now, those comments have been met with some degree of ridicule, not least from a former UN ambassador, Samantha Power, who described them as a travesty. And yes, there is increasing pressure, as there has been for days now, on the US administration to take firmer action against Saudi Arabia, and that pressure will intensify unless the Saudis manage to come up with a plausible explanation of what happened, and an explanation which categorically clears the leadership from any involvement. But that's obviously, as we're seeing, going to be very difficult for them to do. What's different in Washington this time, as opposed to Trump believing Putin, or saying he believes Putin's denials of meddling in the US election, is that this time there's bipartisan concern. So Republicans as well as Democrats are joining together to demand answers and to demand action against Saudi Arabia if necessary.
So if evidence emerges that the Saudi leadership was involved at any level, will President Trump then be forced to take action?
Yes, to some extent. He could certainly be forced to do certain things by Congress, as although the Republicans have got a majority. As I say, this has become a bipartisan issue. So senators could certainly block some of those arms sales to Saudi Arabia. They could look into imposing sanctions on Saudi Arabia and, in effect, taking the matter out of Donald Trump's hands. Now, he's certain to resist that. He's put so much store by the importance of the strategic partnership with Saudi Arabia, but it's certainly an option for senators, and ones that at the moment they certainly seem to be prepared to consider. The stakes are high, of course. Saudi Arabia is seen as a bulwark against Iran. It plays a huge role in the global economy because of its oil supplies, and the Saudis have even threatened to disrupt the global economy if action is taken against them. So that may make the senators pause for thought, but at the moment there is certainly a determination here in Washington that something has to be done.